Howdy there, viewer. Science. The pursuit of knowledge, the advancement of one's intellect. It is through the evolution of humanity's collective wisdom that we've managed to grow from being a simple nomadic people to possessing the technology to develop some truly marvelous creations. In our modern day, however, this power is sadly being used for evil. The powers that be have decided to use this gift of knowledge to create dangerous bioweapons, spike the local water supply with HRT, and stop me from having a girlfriend. What was once known as science has now devolved into science. But that's why I'm here. I, for one, believe more people should use their human ingenuity for good to help their fellow man. And I, for one, cannot think of a nobler goal than to objectively break down which little girl from everyone's favorite Diddy Gotcha game Blue Archive would be the best choice to bear your offspring. Now, I hear what you're saying, dear viewer. Isn't this a simple matter of personal preference and opinion? Kivotos could very well be classified as hot chick heaven, and all the girls are beautiful in their own special way. Oh, my sweet summer child, how naive you are. If left to the debate hall, so the philosophers among the ascendant lolicon class may decide which fair maiden be most worthy to bear one's seed, then this issue would never reach its proper resolution. No, I'm afraid this question can't be left open to interpretation. You may have your own personal opinion on the matter, but you must come to terms with the fact that your opinion is most likely factually incorrect, and that your tastes are objectively coal, nay, brimstone even. For I come bearing the fruit of truth this realm so desperately needs. But that's enough chitter-chatter. Let's take a look at the methodology that we'll be using to determine our top pick. First things first, we aren't just determining the best girl here. Any girl can be pretty, hot, cute, or funny, but just because she may tickle your fancy doesn't mean she possesses the necessary traits to keep the dynasty alive. No, we're looking for the best mom here, for in the end, is a mother not just an evolved form of a woman? With that clarification out of the way, we can now look into quantifying the girl's mom values, their momminess if you will. But is motherhood really the type of thing you can so easily reduce down to a few numbers? I mean, isn't it kinda disrespectful to whittle down all the hard work that goes into being a good mom? Take a look at the main tool we'll be using, our state-of-the-art momatrix, the cool name I've assigned to a couple of words I've written down on an Applebee's napkin. Each girl will be measured on 4 stats given a value of 5 for each for a total of 20 points. These stats being maternal instinct, a girl's natural ability to nurture and care for her spawn. Girls with a more gentle and nurturing personality are more likely to score high in this area, as well as any who'd possess experience in roles which would require them to provide care and or discipline. So pretty much most members of the Sisterhood, Police Academy, or any medical related clubs. Wifely aura. A good mom is a good wife after all. So how well would our potential mother-to-be be able to perform her various wifely duties? Cooking, cleaning, budgeting, having sex. We're looking for any girls who excel at these various tasks or manage to display strong leadership roles. Attractiveness. Now, looks aren't everything, but they still matter. I mean, we don't want an eyesore now, do we? I know that what's considered beautiful can be pretty subjective, but there are certain rules of what's generally considered to be attractive we can rely on. And I think in this particular case, we can all agree that the cunnier, the better. So that's the metric I'll be using. And lastly, fertility. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't think this one really demands that much of an explanation. By deducing a girl's overall ranking in each of these categories, we can measure the quality of any girl's momhood. With this method, we can effectively go through the over 7 students in Blue Archive's roster to whittle down our top contender for certified, scientifically proven mommy. So without further ado, let's start things off by taking a look at the worst girl. Now, as mentioned before, Kivotos is indeed hot chick heaven, so none of the girls managed to score a flat-out 0 across the board. Well, except for Kivotos' worst mom and worst girl, Akemi. On the basis that she's basically more of a gorilla than a woman, she earns a 0 on all categories. Now, I know that may disappoint all of the muscle mommy enjoyers, but to that all I have to say is according to the science, you're actually a raging homosexual, so your opinion opinion, will be discarded. Taking a look at most of the real girls, most of them ended up scoring fairly high. I mean, that is to be expected with so many good options at our disposal. But despite averaging pretty well, most drop the ball in one particular category out of the four that causes them to get eliminated. Taking a look at these one at a time, for Motherly Instinct, this is where a lot of the girls with more unsavory personalities really suffered. These fall into a couple of different camps. You got your various flavors of mentally deranged, though if you ask me, all women are crazy. Wakamo, Sugiri, Shiriko, pretty much any girl who displays an unhealthy amount of obsessive tendencies towards sensei, or just behaviors that reflect a shattered state of mind. I mean, sure, Haruka's massive inferiority complex may be kind of cute in a broken sort of way, but can we really trust her to look after children when she clearly can't even look after her own mental well-being? I know it may be hard for some of you, but come on guys, don't stick your dick in crazy. Next up is the section that easily caused me the most pain to rank, as many of my favorite girls fall into this category. The brats. Looking after a kid is a lot of responsibility, and responsibility is a trait a lot of the girls on our roster are simply lacking. What with the amount of mischievous troublemakers that are part of the cast. Girls like Mutsuki, Kasumi, Koyuki, or the Train twins are more likely to inspire misbehavior in their children than they are to correct it. In fact, I'd say these girls deserve a fair bit of correction themselves. Even if we aren't strictly looking at the more bratty side of the personality spectrum, girls like Momomi, Chirino, and Ibuki are far too childish to ever be trusted to effectively take care of a child. Now, to be fair, in the case of some of these girls, that can be explained by the fact that she's just literally a child, but that's no excuse for a poor performance in my book. We're running a scientific investigation here, and according to the science Ibuki, age is just a number. The last negative maternal trait shown among the girls was easily among the largest in size, and that'd be none other than the freaklers. The amount of girls absolutely fiending for a taste of sensei's sweet nectar is unreal. Under normal circumstances, sign me up, brother. Hell, I'm ready to become a victim. Here's my photo. Get those cereal boxes ready, because you ain't gonna be hearing from me for a long time. That aside, in the context of a mother, we simply cannot ignore such a degenerate behavior. A good mother should be a role model of virtue and purity. How could we allow such perverts to sully the innocent mind of our youth, our future, with their wicked and sinful desires? Moe, Hanako, Asuna, and especially Koharu are all thrown straight to hell where they belong. Having the audacity to project your own lewd thoughts onto others. How disgraceful. That low maternal instinct score pretty much eliminates a good third of the cast right off the bat. But what about their skill sets? Taking a look at wifely aura now, the girls who drop the ball here tend to utterly fail at any traditional domestic tasks. So Juri and her anomalously bad cooking skills wouldn't be making the cut. Not only that, but many of the girls also possess unique skill sets, which range anywhere between utterly useless to dangerous and detrimental in regards of raising offspring. So girls like Saya, who specialize in a different kind of cooking, shouldn't be allowed anywhere near a kid. And skills such as hacking, gaming, robotics, mechanics, or any tech-related fields also net them a low score due to the simple fact that STEM majors don't deserve any love and are destined to die alone. So I hope you weren't a fan of any girls in Millennium. But that's not all, because a couple of girls go above and beyond in their abilities to not only be useless, but also worthless on top of that. Girls like Yui can barely clean themselves, let alone the house, and someone like Kirino, despite her cheery and lovable personality, is unable to perform even the most basic of tasks without causing something to go wrong. That, and we have girls like Reisa, who simply have nothing going on up there. With a girl like this bearing your spawn, you're pretty much guaranteeing your kid is gonna be born with a bit of the tisms. With all the useless idiots out of the way, we reach attractiveness. As mentioned before, the cuter and funnier a girl is, the better. So that instantly eliminates a lot of the more decrepit hags on offer. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the hags did manage to squeeze their way through due to being too hot to possibly say no to. But as for girls like Marina, Tomoe, or Satsuki, yeah, okay man, feel free to pick up your fossils at the dig site right, you freak. Girls who look plain, boring, or otherwise uninteresting also fail here. Despite not being ugly per se, unless you reminded me, I'm not gonna even remember girls like Ari, Suzumi, or Senna even exist. The real tragedy here is that most of the girls who are smoking hot end up falling into the brat or immature categories we took a look at previously, causing them to get eliminated anyways. Truly a hard day for all the Mesuguners out there. And for our last round of eliminations, the infertile. The girls who unfortunately make their way here do so for one of two reasons. Either their eggs are rotten or raw. Of those hags that did survive our prior examinations, any on the older side of the spectrum meet their end here. Rio, Makoto, and any other post-menopause granny is instantly sent to the retirement home. On the other side of that coin, this is sadly where the best cunny goes to die. Despite having maxed out values in every other category, Kokona is simply incapable of giving birth due to reasons I'm not allowed to go into on this platform. But hey, that ain't gonna stop me from trying. I also forgot to mention the third secret clanker class assigned to any girl, digital or machine, who does not possess the needed humanity to bear children. So sorry guys, but Arona, Plana, and all other robo-cunnies are out of the question. Now that we've gotten all of the eliminations out of the way, who's left as our definitive best mom? Who perfectly encapsulates the four key tenets previously discussed? Is it mayhaps Karen, holding the desire in her heart to be the ideal wife for her supposed white prince? Or maybe it's Mari, with her gentle and caring attitude and virtuous spirit as a sister. Could the choice be even more obvious than that? I mean, look at Fuka. She's basically a tired mom as is. All that's missing is that marriage certificate to make it official. All good choices, but I'm afraid not. For our real top pick, Moggs even these girls out of the water. That's right, Shun. Nobody can even compete anywhere close to her level. As an instructor of Plum Blossom Garden, she already has a ton of experience when it comes to dealing with kids. Kids who seem to be quite fond of her. And I mean, with a view like that, who can blame them? As for Fertility, well, let's just say I got two big reasons to suspect that there'll be more than enough milk to go around. The only category Shun really stumbles on is attractiveness. I mean, really? A hag as our top contender? Are we even real senseis at that point? Well, ladies and gentle gamers, this is where Shun's trump card comes into play, as when taking a look at Shun, we also gotta take into consideration Shunny. In her improved unripened form, Shunny manages to not only make up for Shun's shortcomings, but her added energy and somewhat bratty personality give her an extra tool at her disposal when performing nighttime wifely duties. Shun in the streets, Shunny in the sheets. With both of these combined, you're basically getting a 2-in-1 deal. Who can say no to that? Just make sure to always keep a stock of that strange product Saya's cooking up. As long as you got that medicine, your genealogy's set to prosper. Now listen, maybe some of you disagree with this conclusion. You're sad that your favorite girl was shafted, or you think that ranking Shun and Shunny as the same girl is basically just cheating. To that I say, sorry buddy, but the science begs to differ. As the old saying goes, facts don't care about your feelings. Now, if you excuse me, all this research has left me in quite the amorous mood, so I'll be taking my leave now to go and have intercourse with my wife.
I woke up with a boner. I woke up with a boner.